Oh shit, what have I done?
Chrono.
Oh no. Oh no, I've broke it. Right, we're prematurely starting. Here we go. And intro. Scots with soul, we build this network. Scots and soul, build this network on Scots with soul. So there you go, a wee bit of Kelly's eyeballs right in your face to start us off in the podcast.
I loved that.
But yeah, guys, welcome to the 41st Scots with Soul podcast. Can first I start off by saying, Tickles, thank you for taking the podcast last week. That was great having a break, man.
Never doing it again.
But yes, we have Mr. Tickles joining us again. We have newcomer Kandonian. How you doing, son? And we have SMViper returning with us. So we'll start with Kandonian this week. How are you? And tell us a wee bit about yourself.
Straight on the spot.
Straight on the spot. You're the new guy.
It's like going to the club and it's like, sit down now, tell us why you're here today. You know?
Get us
tell.
If you walk into a club, it's like all the music stops. It's like you sit down and all the music stops. It's like everyone looks at you. It's like, who's this new guy?
Is that
Who's
just because
this
you're
man?
clubbing with your shirt undone?
Well, I mean, if you're gonna make this much of a deal of it, right? I'm gonna do another one.
Oh, here we go.
He's getting right edgy.
This will bring in the viewers.
But I'll introduce Kandonian. Kandonian is the founder / co-owner of Kando Corp, and he's asked us recently to help alpha test his new game, which is currently called Kando Realm, if I'm right, but it's not his final name, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, it's just a work in progress name at the moment.
Yeah, so if anybody's wanting to help test an MMO, what type of MMO?
It's just a 2D RPG MMO, so it's like a sort of like RuneScape.
It's
But
quite funny,
mixed
man.
with,
You get a
like,
wee
WoW
wiggly
comedy.
belly to start off. It's quite a good introduction, man. It gets you laughing right off the bat. Your wee wiggly belly, man.
Yeah. Oh, everybody loves that.
But aye, it's good to
Some
have
point
you with
half
us,
a
man.
year stuff.
There's Kelly's eyes again. Thank you for the follow, Serena.
Hey, this is the
Tickles,
first time that Serena's seen the podcast, by the way.
is it? Well, tell us you're welcome to come on, man.
Run,
time and replace
run.
Tickles.
Well, no, because she's English, I thought she wasn't allowed. I would love for Serena to be on here.
Like, aye, that's what the guest slot's for. It's an overall Scottish podcast, but I'd love
no,
to
I just
expand
assumed that
into
you're all
more
very
guests.
xenophobic.
No, not at all, man.
I don't know, we've
Not
had a
at all.
Swedish person, we've had an American person.
Oh,
Aye,
yeah, I
we've-
forgot about that because I've actually been on the podcast with an American.
Yeah, you have.
Oh,
And we don't say Zavira's Swedish. We don't say that. We say she's Norwegian because it makes her tilt. There you go. She doesn't like being called Norwegian. But yeah, Tickles, how are you this week? And what have you been up to?
you know, I'm well. I've got. I had a cold. I'm good now. Played some guitar. That was earlier on tonight. Played pretty well, apart from when I didn't. One thing that if you don't fix this really quickly, I'm gonna leave. I'm gonna leave not only the podcast but IndiScots. If you don't put the grapes behind me right this fucking second,
Let's do, where the fuck's the grapes?
Oh no, I don't.
I'm
think that.
leaving.
I don't know what
I'm
I've done
leaving.
with the grapes.
I'm
Hold on.
not gonna leave.
They should
want
be.
my
They should
grapes.
be there somewhere. Hold on, I'll go get them for you, right?
Thank you very
Viper,
much.
how have you been and what you've been up to this week?
I've been okay. I have been working on Hype CW stuff. So that's been taking up a bit of my time. I checked. I think I've logged about 16 hours on WWE 2K19, which is something I thought I'd never do. And that, but also season 5 of Brooklyn Nine-Nine got put up on Netflix, so I haven't been seen for the past couple of days.
There you go.
Oh my grapes.
But yeah, a little bit of background on Hype CW. We're looking for people to be a wrestler per se. All the matches will be done in WWE 2K19. They'll all be simulated matches, and we'll be doing a 6-week card, 6-week show, right? And anybody who's willing to even record on their phone and do promos or whatever, they can be we'll call them main event wrestler. But people that are not willing to do that but still want a wrestler can be like your undercard wrestlers, and we'll do a few matches each week where people that are only doing the camera work, and then we'll work up to the main event where it will be like people who have sent in like videos for that week and stuff like that to do their promos. So aye, if that interests you, we've put a character submission section in the Discord. There's 10 points. If you fill out those 10 points, we'll make you a character. Viper, don't worry, I'm going to buy WWE in take some of that load off you as well, because that's going to be a lot of characters that's going to be made.
Will that make it more complicated though, having two different people's accounts?
It's fine. I can like do it. Like I've got a system that makes it so I could at least make at least one a day.
Okay.
But it is a good
And,
question Tickles brings up. Does it make it harder? Because can I simply make a character and then you can download that character with all its stuff?
You can, yeah, but I haven't figured out the full part of how to upload a whole character yet. Like,
Because that would be good if other people have it as well and they want to make their own character. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
that would take
well,
workload off of us.
We'll definitely find that out. Like, there's
Also give
ways
people a
that
bit more pride when their character comes out that curtain. Do you know what I mean? That's that character I made.
It is a definite. I need to figure out how exactly it's done, but we'll definitely do it. But in terms of a roster, what we're looking for at the moment, minimum, we're looking for 4. We're looking for basically kind of like 2 to 4 main event wrestlers. We're looking
People
for
willing to do cameras
yeah,
and
we're
do
looking for at least
promos and
2
stuff.
At least 2 or 3 tag teams, and then we're also looking for about 2 to 3 women.
I mean, the majority of all this stuff is going to be on the Discord. So if you want to know, I mean, all this stuff, it's a lot to remember. Like, if you want the list of shit that you need to do, and if you want to take part in it, all you need to do is join the IndiScots Discord, and then it's all going to be there for you.
Yeah, totally. Man.
Somebody, Matt the Mad said that and I think it was Viper's audio is quite soft. But, you know.
Right, okay, I'll turn Discord up a wee bit.
Should we? I mean, obviously one of the first things that we're wanting to talk about, the whole reason why Kandonian is here is to play his game, right?
Yeah.
Absolute lies.
All right, moving on. So it was snowing here today. Anyway,
it wasn't snowing where I was, man. I get some
Scandal.
shite fucking hail, and that was it.
It wasn't snowing here either.
Get some
Well,
shit
fuck
hail,
snow.
and that was it. But did you see that Capcom this week said if enough people demand it, they're going to remake RE3?
I've seen that, yeah.
Aye,
So in other words, they're remaking RE3.
like I want to find out.
In other
where.
words, they wanted to
I don't
test
remember
how many sales.
Resident Evil 3 at all. Can anyone?
Nemesis.
No, I can't remember it.
Really? The guy with a giant eye
page
in
won't
his
load
shoulder.
properly for me.
No.
No, that was 2 because I've been seeing that all over COD stream. The
Is it?
big monster with the eye in his shoulder. Yeah, that was 2.
I always thought
I-
Nemesis
was
was
it?
3.
Nemesis was 3.
Yeah, Nemesis was 3.
Nemesis was 3.
What?
Sorry.
You're just saying the word Nemesis. What is it? What
The
is it?
Nemesis is see Mr. X, and he's very similar to Mr. X. He's basically
Oh, the guy that chases.
yeah, he's very similar to him, except he's a mutated version, and he's got they done him in the movies and all that as well. But he's got a wee bit of a backstory. He was someone, and they turned him into it. And now he chases, he hates stars because he blames stars, and that's why Yaldi's in the chat going, stars! Aye, the Nemesis was the original big bad guy that chased you about the game.
Right.
Aye. But that's the one Jill Valentine makes a return, so it's a well-loved Resident Evil character, and it was actually supposed to be Resident Evil 2.5 when it first released. It was people in the company were making it as a side project, because they had the RE engine and they were like, we're just going to make our own wee RE game. And then the leads got wind of it and they were like, we're going to make that the third game. And that's why the big guy chases you about, because they loved that from the for Resident Evil 2. Because the Tyrant was always in it, Resident Evil 2. He was in the B scenarios. So a lot of people didn't see him when they played it the first time because they didn't do the second scenarios. So that's why Nemesis is the one that's remembered for the big guy chasing you about. But he's...
Speaking of Resident Evil 2 as well, I found one fucker of a mod for it, which was so funny. And it was where it spawned about 8 Mr. X's, but they were all like 3 times the height, and they were all butt naked, apart from a black thong. And on the black thong, there was the Umbrella Corporation logo. And it was one of the funniest mods
I've
I've
not seen that one.
in my life.
I've
Because
not
it
seen that
also
one.
play, because now and then as well, when you've done something like on the save menus, it also mod it to have Ricardo dancing in the corner. And I was like, this is amazing. I need to get Resident Evil 2 just for this mod alone.
There's another one as well where you can mod it so that all the creatures and enemies are just tofu blocks. And when you hit them, they're soft. When you hit them, it's soft body physics. It's like the weirdest thing.
This
That's
to
awesome.
Return of the Tofu.
Yeah.
My favourite
To be
one
fair, it's the
I've
same
seen.
thing.
My favourite one I've seen is the Mr. X's Thomas the Tank Engine, and instead of footprints, it's the Thomas the Tank Engine theme tune playing through at the fucking police station, man. There's just that child inside me that loves that and is terrified from it at the same time. But yeah, RE3 is something I'd really like to see back, man. Did you see this week as well, Tickles, on a different subject, that Artifacts took another blow and Valve laid off 13 employees that were on the Artifact team?
That wasn't actually to do with the Artifact.
Oh, was it no?
No, that was the virtual reality team.
All right, okay.
Yeah, I heard it was the VR team as well.
Yeah, it's definitely the VR team.
I think one of the
don't know
guys
why-
originally worked on Artifact, though, but he joined the VR team.
Yeah, it was predominantly hardware.
It's just because I found this and I didn't really read through it because I was in a rush today. But
oh wow, being on a podcast but doesn't read what he's about to talk.
well, we're just about to read it, right? In February, Valve
alright.
laid off 13 of its full-time employees and an unknown number of its contractors. Right, it's an unfortunate part of business, but it does not represent any major changes at the company, Valve said in a statement. Artifact fan blog Artabov reached out to Richard Garfield, who served as the game's designer under contract, to see if it was one of those terminated. Garfield replied and explained that both members of the Three Donkey design team, himself and Scaff Elias, former vice president of the Wizards and Coast, were no longer under contract at Valve. We weren't surprised by the layoff, considering how rocky the launch was. The team was enthusiastic about the game and were confident that they had a good product, but it became clear it wasn't going to be easy to get the game to where we wanted. The layoff makes sense for a number of reasons. To name a couple, now that the game is out there, time is more critical, so more voices and you have to navigate not being as good as making less considered decisions faster. So I don't know, but to fucking basically...
I actually know what they've done.
Aye, I was hoping like you'd take lead on this.
Yeah, no, I do. Because I read, obviously, I was really excited about Artifact. And don't worry, Kandonian. Your time will come when we promote you.
Wait, Artifact's the card game, isn't it?
Yeah, Artifact's
Yeah,
card
yeah.
game,
Yeah, Artifact, like, even now, I love Artifact, but you can't play it anymore. You can't play it anymore because I think I said it last week or the week before. If you play a game and some guy beats you senseless and then you have a game straight away again, it's very likely that you're going to be playing the same guy that just beat the shit out of you. It's not something. Get the fucking hat off my fucking head.
Right, we'll change hat. There we go.
What is the new hat?
Fedora.
Oh yeah, that'll do. Yeah, I'm up for this hat. But yeah, seriously though, what they did before, because they really wanted Artifact to be a massive success. I mean, thinking about this logically, you name any game that Valve have made that hasn't been a great success.
Well, that hasn't been or has?
Hasn't been a great success.
Because I've only really heard of the successful games.
But I mean, the majority, like, I can only think of all the ones that, like, Portal, Half-Life, Dota, all these games, and they've all been really successful. But then you've got, what they did was they were like, we want to make a card game that's going to be competitive, and we're going to do. They even done. They promoted this tournament that they were going to be doing for a tournament every year, like the Dota 2 International Championships, and it was going to be like you're going to win like $1 million. Whoever's in it, you're going to win $1 million. At this moment in time, they're probably going to just be giving away $1 million to somebody that's going to play the game still, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
But what they've done is they brought in a bunch of really well-renowned card game makers, and then the games went to shit, and that's it. Like
sometimes this happens. Do you know what I mean? Sometimes you fire and you miss.
The people have done their job. The people have done their job. They made this great game, and it is a great game, even though it's failed. It is a great game. They've done their job, but there's no reason for them to be there anymore. The decisions that have to be made nowadays, like now for that game, are how are we going to save the game? It's not making the game anymore. It's how do we save the game, which is more of a high up thing rather than a game developer point of view.
You're firefighting basically.
Yeah.
Why do you think the
So
game
like
failed
these
in the first
people,
place?
they're getting paid for no reason at the moment. So may as well cut them loose. We've built the game. Now we have to save it. Or
that's
we
true.
have to just
That's true.
no, or we just leave it entirely, which is probably what they're going to do.
Also,
Why do
one
you think the game failed in the first place?
Huh?
Why do you think the game failed in the first place? Was it game mechanics? Was it just lack
Nope.
of players? Was it?
Nope. Nope.
So how the
None
fuck
of
do
the
you
above.
compete in the modern market against games like Apex and fucking Battle?
Nope.
Do you know what I mean? Battle
I
Royales.
don't even think it was that. I'm so fucking confident about this that I would say that I'm like 100% sure. It's
that Hearthstone crushed it just before,
well,
and then people didn't want to change because they'd already invested time in it.
it was Hearthstone, but it's not for the reasons you think. It's Hearthstone has this amazing way of applying itself to people. It's so easy to grasp, but it's really difficult to get really good at. And I'm really sorry if I'm drawing on right now, but like you asked, and this is something that I actually know something about, which is very unusual.
Take your time, tell us.
So Hearthstone's free to play, straight off the bat, free to play. You don't need to spend any money, and you can like I play Hearthstone. I've never spent any money on it, but I've still made it up to like nearly legend and things like that. You don't need to spend money on Hearthstone. Whereas with Artifact, straight off, they pissed off everyone. Everyone, because Dota 2 is free and like, you know, it's one of the most competitive MOBAs out there. But they were just like, okay, so what you want to do, if you want to play this game, you have to buy the game, which is about £15-20. Then on top of that, if you want to play competitively, you also have to pay money for that. It costs one event ticket, which is like £1 or £2 each.
But to play a game, it costs money.
Yeah. Well, competitively, yes. So like in Hearthstone, that's another thing. That's another thing that Artifact did wrong. If you want to play the arena in Hearthstone, which means that you put money, you technically gamble. And what you do is you pay money and then you build a deck that gives you 3 options every single time. Like choose one of these 3 cards, and you do this a bunch of times until you have a full deck, right?
Mm-hmm.
But with Artifact though, you can earn that gold in Hearthstone by just doing quests, by just playing the game. You don't need to spend money to do it. You can just.
Right. Aye,
But with
so
Artifact,
it's a
though,
fundamental problem. Aye, you're going to have to keep topping that up if you're losing.
Yeah, straight away with Artifact, people were so pissed off because they were like, "How? Like, so wait a minute, I have to pay for the game,
It's like,
and then on top of that, I have to
50%
pay
of the-
more money if I want to play it like in the arena." Like,
So,
well,
see,
this
if
is
you win a
EA's wet
match,
dream.
see if you
Yeah,
win a
it's
match, do
basically
you get
EA.
like a token back so that you can play another game?
no,
No.
like how it works is you have to win 3 games, and that's just to get your ticket back. If you win 4 games, you get a pack, which is 1 pack cards. And if you win 5 games, you get 2 packs of cards and your event ticket back. So, I mean, you're paying money to essentially, if you lose your first, and within your first 3 games, you're fucked. You can't, you're wasting your money.
It's almost as if they knew their player base was going to be small and figured out this other way to try and milk it. That's what it sounds like to me.
To me, I think it's more a case of they were so fucking positive that this game was going to be a massive success, and they just counted on the fact that regardless of how many people were going to be pissed off, it was going to be a success. Do you know why? Because we're Valve. That's why.
Anybody else have any
It was
opinions on it?
ego. If it is the case that it's straight just ego launching in going, oh, like Tickle said, we're Valve, pay us, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm
I
guessing
think they're learning hard in the past year and a half.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
Epic Store appearing on the market like that. Yo, here's an alternative to Steam and game developers. We'll give you 20% extra. Oh, do you know what I mean? Like,
I mean, Steam has been like I'm total anti-Steam. I've been anti-Steam for almost since the day it launched, but I understand why it's good for consumers.
it's like we need David
But it's
Attenborough in here
good for-
just now, and here we see the rare anti-Steam person.
But I mean, for consumers,
Watch
right?
how he dons his Battle.net jacket.
Sorry, man.
Don't you guys find it really funny though that you know we talked about recently how that all these other game platforms have come out, you know, Epic and all that stuff, and we're wanting to, you know, challenge Steam.
Mm.
But all that stuff's really happened a lot, especially since Artifact. It's almost like they can smell
I
blood,
suppose, aye, that's true.
you know.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, carry on. It just the thought came into my head.
Yeah, I mean that is part of it, because what they had to do is, even if they built this stuff, they would have to wait for a weakness to happen. So they would have to wait on like bad HR or something coming out, which is probably you probably
that
find
gap in the market.
Yeah, you probably find that store for what's it called, Epic. You probably find that that's been there, sitting there for like a year and a half, literally with a guy waiting
and
to say.
Nobody's been given
okay,
a fuck
go.
because Steam have been farting rosies for the past year and a half.
Yeah, and then as soon as they did one bad thing, they were like, right, Dave, get the keys, open it up.
Pretty much.
But yeah,
You know,
I've been.
I think that's why
Steam
Artifact
for a long time.
Speaking in terms of like card games that you pay to play competitively, all I can think is like the physical card games that are out there, such as like Yu-Gi-Oh and stuff, where like to get into like an event like your local or like regionals and nationals, you had to pay a fee, and the reason that people didn't mind paying that fee is because you then got packs back straight away.
Yeah,
you were gambling.
They tried to justify it. They tried to treat it in the same way as a physical card game. That you have to spend money in order to get cards, and you have to spend money play competitively. They tried really hard to make it a very physical card game, but it's just not.
Then you just wonder, why didn't you just make it a physical card game then? Like if you wanted to make a physical card,
because it's Valve, it's a digital-based platform.
Yeah, a totally digital-based platform.
Like look at the success of Dota. Like I've said this a bunch of the last fucking international that the prize was like 25 million for the winning team.
That's madness, ain't it, man? That's mad.
I know everyone kicks the fuck out of everyone else because they're like, oh, Call of Duty's amazing, man. Why are you playing a MOBA like Dota 2? You're so lame. It's like, do you realize that like just one international from Dota 2 is worth about 10 of yours?
Sorry, I can't hear you. I can't hear you over all this money.
I know, exactly. It's like
it's like StarCraft 2, right? StarCraft 2 to this day is still the highest prize pool.
It's mental.
That's fucking
South Korea is a national sport of South Korea. Yeah,
yeah.
Like it's, and I'm Mr. German Olympic Association. No, it's not a real thing.
Put it this way, like over here, we thought it was like a big thing. Like I don't know if you've seen it, but Dota's just announced that they're going to be played in the finals are going to be played in Disneyland Paris.
Yeah, I saw that.
Fuck's sake, really?
Are you serious?
So
in other words, Disney is turning into Blizzard World.
So they're co-happening with Disneyland Paris to do the finals. I think it got announced this morning. And that's like a big thing, right? But then
I'm just picturing like the Chinese team on Space Mountain.
Yeah, but I mean,
put them on roller coasters, man.
If you think about it, people are like, "Oh, this is such a big thing," because, like, you know how big this is going to be. But then what they don't remember is, like, 15 years ago, a Korean guy flew in a private jet into a hangar, standing on top of it like this, as his entrance to him coming to the StarCraft tournament. Like,
it's like a big level shit, ain't it, man?
Yeah, exactly. And we're like, oh, it's getting held at Disneyland.
I'm going to quickly search something.
Germany's over there in the European Parliament going, not this sport. Kill it with fire.
Just to say as well, even talking about it like this, I think I've said this before. Like I've played Dota for many years, and it's only recently that I've completely quit. And that's just because the community. I still love the game, but the community is probably one of the worst in the world, almost as bad as Overwatch. And I just sold all my shit.
Overwatch community pure toxic as fuck.
Mate, the fucking the Overwatch, just don't get me started. We'll be here till 1 in the fucking get me started. But like on Dota though, like you get free items if you win games or whatever. It gives you items. And I sold all my shit. I sold well, not even all my shit. I sold like about a quarter, maybe a fifth of my shit, and I made like 70 odd quid just by selling my shit on Steam. Like it just shows that Steam's still really like Dota's still a really popular game, even though it's been out for like quite a few years now. Like it's still such a popular game.
Aye, just because it's not popular in Scotland. Do you know what I mean? That's why it's like, that's why like we say what we say about these games. Like everybody's fucking Disney think that it's a real fucking sport or whatever. Because you know what I mean. You say to 90% of people in Scotland, "Oh, what do you think about StarCraft 2?" They go, "Well, fuck StarCraft 2." Do you know what I mean? It's
Well,
Like most people don't realize that like a lot of esports, like even though it's online, it's still regional based. Like
yeah.
it's very regional based.
I was networking earlier on. That's right, everyone. You heard me right. I was networking. Right.
Networking.
he was doing it.
Working. I was working it.
Networking.
I was
Working on the net.
The net. Yeah.
So I went into some.
Oh, is that why your button was undone?
Maybe.
He was sweating.
Anyway,
Hard work.
well, I don't see what the fucking problem is. It makes me look kind of like Indiana Jones, and I'm okay with that. Okay, right. So anyway, I went into this guy's stream. Yes.
Now
Where
he
the
looks
fuck's
more
my
like
whip?
Indiana Jones.
We can't show on stream.
I went into this guy's stream, right, and this is going along with like what StarCraft, right? The guy said, "Oh, so do you play?" He was playing Call of Duty. He's like, "So, what do you play on Xbox or PS4?" I was like, "Neither. I play on PC." He's like, "Oh, you're kidding me? That's so shit." And I was like, "Wait a minute. You realize that first? You realize that like frames per second.
Do you realise that I'm MrTickles and you don't get to say that to me?
You don't get to say that shit. No, you don't get to say that shit full stop." And I was just like, "Do you understand that like frames per second, graphics, like everything performance-wise is much better on PC?" He's like,
Apart
"No,
from the aim
man.
assist. Aim assist's way better.
Aim
on
assist as
console.
well."
Oh, aim assist, I fucking love.
I said that to him as well. I was like, "Aim assist as well," and I was just like, "Do you even think before you speak, or what's up?" Yeah, and, like
It's different genre of people though.
yeah, different genre of people. Do you mean a war class?
A different genre of people.
I think
No.
Kandonian's way was a better way of expressing.
Nah. I'll be more straightforward. Lesser people. Sorry.
Tickles is over there like, Zeke.
As-
This is where the call ends for me, and you just see me disappear. It's
what
like,
colour are your eyes, Tickles?
I don't know why. The same color as my shirt. That's why I'm wearing a light blue shirt.
We were talking about like all like the stuff like just in terms of like tournaments for these sports attendance. I'll read you some stats here, right? So this is the last tournament to happen for StarCraft 2. It was the IEM. The fuck's that word?
It's the Intel Extreme Masters.
Intel Extreme Masters, basically, right? Prize pool was $400,000, and it had the peak viewers was 78.8 thousand people, right? So let's put that in perspective. Let's take all of them and put them in an arena, right? So 78.8 thousand people. WrestleMania 34. WrestleMania, the biggest wrestling event in the world currently. WrestleMania 34, last one happened.
The most electrifying.
Yeah, basically, their attendance was 78,133. They pulled in more viewers than WrestleMania.
But it's still not.
And what was that? What was that for? Was that not even a big massive event for them?
Well,
WrestleMania is their biggest event.
Oh no! I meant the other thing. The other
so
thing.
the IEM like big, but it's mainly
Their biggest was the WCS Global Finals, that has a $700,000 prize pool.
it's a point to get
ridiculous.
And they had this better 247,000 people. I can't name a stadium in the world with a capacity of over 100,000.
I'm just thinking
There used to
all
be
these muscly men that have been working out their whole lives, like perfecting these moves that they do.
And then there's just a Korean guy playing, like beating them with his foot on the table like that, like
he's just like
some fucking Doritos, like fuck you, Triple H.
Fuck you.
The stadiums at the max seems to be around about 120,000 nowadays. Do you know what I mean? But stadiums like fucking like 75 years ago when they were just terraces, there wasn't any seats. Do you know what I mean? Before health and safety was a thing. Do you know what I mean? They were like, you got money, get in. Concentrate on the football like that, man.
This is in.
Health and safety pretty much ruined most of it.
Didn't expect this answer. Biggest stadium in the world is Rungrado Mayday Stadium. That's 114,000 people that can fit in that.
Is that built
and
for
it's in
Russia?
North Korea.
North Korea?
Yeah,
Fuck.
North Korea have the biggest stadium.
It makes sense when you're your regime is based on a dictatorship that you have somewhere.
I was
that
about
you
to say,
can
is that where
amass
they
all
hold
these-
the gladiator games?
Yeah, that's what the line.
That's where the Hunger Games are held.
That's where we put all the people that we don't like to fight lions.
The next one's the Michigan Stadium. That's 113,000.
It's a baseball stadium, right?
Where's that?
What's baseball? Is that like rounders?
That's mad that a baseball. I didn't think baseball was. Well, I suppose it's America. Because
It's either baseball or
It's the Chrysler Center. Oh, wait, no, is it? No, it's not. Michigan Stadium. It is. Is it baseball or is it football?
Do you think King
It's football.
Jong-un plays StarCraft 2?
Have you not heard? Have you not heard? According to the people in North Korea,
play good now.
Play good now. You go on the gladiator then. Oh, sorry. No, wait, I can't do that.
that was that was too far. No,
That's because Vanessa. That's because your
it's
fucking
nothing to do
girlfriend.
with Vanessa.
Vanessa always gets me to do that shit, and it's her fault. It's not my fault.
Listen, you can't channel your inner Kim Jong Un without doing the accent. We forgive you,
Thank
Tickles,
you.
right?
Thank you. Right. It's not racism.
It was,
asked
it was an impression. It's
It
not
was an
racism.
impression.
There you go.
Like,
More
to be fair,
importantly,
right?
could
Probably
you-
Completely innocent.
Sorry, like,
Could you imagine
Enough-
in front of in this big massive stadium, like with the grass grounds and like crowds of people, and then just in the middle of the stadium is this one guy on a computer playing a video game?
You win or you go. No, wait. You win or you go to the den.
it's a fucking straight into it again, man.
People don't realise, but
I can't even help it. I'm not even putting it on. I can't help it. It just happened.
people don't know this, right? But it was actually Kim Jong Un who released the Epic Store to the world. He was the one with the big red button.
It was his weapon of
Do you think
mass
he pressed the wrong
destruction.
one?
That's why Brexit
press that
happened,
other
because they
big red
pressed the
button.
wrong one.
What do you mean that the other button was the nuke button? He just
He pressed the wrong one by
accidentally
accident.
Yeah. Like the one thing that I really don't like is that over the next couple of months, obviously the other game that I'm looking forward to the most, apart from Kandonian's game, which I'm looking forward to more than anything in my life. I probably didn't even look forward to kids getting born as much as I'm looking forward to your game. So no pressure. Though. I just want you to
in the
make
box.
yeah,
No pressure, Hannah. No pressure.
no pressure. But like, I just want you to be aware of that and no. But a game that I'm really looking forward to coming out is that World War Z game. It came up, I think, last week or the week before. It looks amazing. It's a zombie game like Left 4 Dead, but it's got like hundreds of zombies on the screen at the same time. And it looks like it's going to be great. But it's only on Epic. It's an exclusive to Epic.
It's weird because I look at that game and just think you're going to crash my computer.
Is that not because it runs on Unreal?
Sorry, Kandonian?
Said, is that not because it runs on the Unreal tech?
Yeah.
I think they got
Which
a grant from Unreal.
Okay, so maybe white might not crash my computer. Like,
That's a good point. But this also brings us to what I wanted to speak to Kandonian about.
Theresa
his
May
game all
versus
night.
the EU in StarCraft. I just read that comment.
I can't wait for that mod.
Oh man, that'd be
Wow.
Theresa
Yeah,
May,
I've wanted
man.
to speak about Kandonian's game all night, but
Your mad skills the PC.
see, just before we do, I've actually used the Unreal Engine before.
Mhm.
When you chose the engine that you use, which is Unity,
Yeah.
what made you choose Unity? Is it user friendly? Do you think? Did you try the other ones? Why did you choose Unity?
So it was an easy choice for me.
Why?
So like Unity used to be in-house only, so like it wasn't like free to use or anything. Like when I started, it was like you could only get it with a studio license, and it's based off the language it uses. So I primarily program in C#, and it uses C#, whereas Unreal uses C++, and I can't be bothered with memory management, so it was a nice and easy choice for me.
So you spent
Well, I mean-
thousands and thousands of hours making a game purely
basic-
based on a judgment that was lazy.
Yeah. No, it's it's like, let's explain it. Like, there used to be slight differences in like the engines and stuff, but nowadays both engines are, to be fair, pretty similar. Like I know Unity gets a lot of stick for being like producing like really bad games, but it's because it's more accessible, and
Yeah,
most
that's
people don't understand how to use it.
Aye, there's a lot more people
that's not the
trying.
engine's fault. That's
Yeah.
the people coding's fault.
Yeah, it's like you can paint a wall, but everybody paints the wall different, right?
Yeah, I think it goes for anything. Some people prefer XSplit and some people prefer OBS.
Yeah,
Just
but I mean the engines are so close nowadays. But the other thing that puts me off Unreal to Unity is the pricing structure. Like for Unity, it's when we turn revenue of more than profit of more than 100,000, we have to pay for a pro license, which is like 99 quid a month or something. It's not a lot.
No, that's fine.
Right.
That's fine.
Whereas most people don't read Unreals properly.
I actually did.
Unreal takes 5%.
Yeah, 5%.
What they don't realise is there's a magic word there that says revenue. So that means every single penny that goes through your business, they get 5%, whether that's money you've spent or earned. They get 5%. That's a big difference.
It's a pretty fucking nasty clause, ain't it, man?
Yeah, that's a big difference.
It's probably why fucking Epic are just rolling in it, just going.
Yeah, I mean, there's a couple of studios that got crushed by it. Like, they brought out really good games, marketed very well, made lots of money, and then Epic went, "Oh, now you need to give us all the 5%." And they're like, "No, but we didn't make much of it." They're like, "Yeah, but you spent like a lot of money making it, and we still get 5% of that."
Yeah.
And they're like, what? And it just crushed a couple of.
Wait, so is that money coming and going?
Yes.
Yeah,
I know this is weird.
Revenue is total money going through your business. So
there is a bracket that you have to hit though before they can take that. So it's anything over a certain amount.
Yeah.
So this company must have hit the bracket but not made that much more than that, and they.
Yeah, but because the bracket is revenue, right? That doesn't mean that you actually made any money.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Profit is different to revenue.
What I'm thinking, right, is that could Unreal then by chance go, all right, let's say you made 500,000.
Hold on a minute. I'll just type in revenue definition and we'll define revenue and profit and see what the difference is. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But then you said like you spent another 500,000, promoting and making your game. So that's $1 million.
Right, there we go. Definition of revenue, right? Income, especially when an organisation and of a substantial nature, traders have lost. A state's annual income from which public expenditures are. That's fucking a terrible fucking.
So basically, it's profit and expenditure.
Yeah. So it's
profits different.
Yeah.
So I think a really good question here for you, like especially you, Kandonian, is so. Do you feel like you've put yourself in a good position here? Do you not have any concerns that if you when you make this game, when it's final and finished and it's out, are you worried, or are you in a safe position?
Oh, I'm fine.
Yeah. Like no, it's just because of what you said about the other studios that have brought out really great games. Are you at risk?
No, so the way that ours works is actually our games mainly sell on. We have our own platform that we use. It's closed just now because everything's getting a revamp, so it'll be back out later in the year. Yeah. But we have our own platform, and I would say 95% of our sales go through that. Only about 5%, if that, go on other channels, but we only put them on the other channels just to increase the sort of people that want to buy it.
When you say that, the one game that springs to mind for me is Marbles, like Marbles on Stream. Like I know it's not exactly a well-renowned game or whatever, but like it's so popular on Twitch. But they've done it on their own launcher, haven't they?
Yeah, so they probably will get. The thing is, you still get taxed and stuff, right? People don't understand that on top of like Steam take 30% on average.
Yeah, Steam are 30-70. Yeah.
Yeah, people do get better deals, like if you ask them, but 30-70 is like the normal. Then you've got 20% if you're in the UK on top of that. So they're taking 50%.
I didn't know that. No, fuck.
Well, you've still got to pay tax. It's still goods in hands.
Remember, Cod, this is what we talked about probably about a month or so ago. Like,
I just didn't know about that in the UK part.
No, like, there's so many things. It's not just a case of like, oh, this is how much I have to fucking put into making this game. It's like so many things get cut up on this.
Well, I did find a good definition of revenue. The income generated from sales of goods or services or any other use of capital or assets associated with the main operations of an organisation before any costs or expenses are deducted. Revenue is shown usually as the top item of an income, profit or loss statement, which from all charges, costs and expenses are subtracted to arrive at net income. And then definition of profit is simple: a financial gain, especially the difference between the amount earned and the amount spent in buying, operating and producing something. So revenue, it takes into account everything.
So if you were a studio and you bought a building for 100,000, you're due Epic $5,000.
Aye.
Because that's
Just wondering, does Epic, I know this is what I was saying earlier about the whole £1 million thing, right? So let's say that's the £1 million and everything, right? So then you owe Epic, like, is it 50 grand? Because 5% of that.
Yeah.
But then that 50 grand then goes into being a cost. So then you owe them 2.5 grand.
No, that's an end cost. So it won't be.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I was going to ask.
Can they just
so
tax you indefinitely? Can they tax you on your tax?
Don't get me wrong. If they've got good lawyers, they might be able to do that. But
yeah, like I was about to ask. So is that then therefore known as a debt that you have to pay? So you're basically creating
Unreal
something.
fucking own you.
Yeah, it's basically like you've created something.
You're using their tech. That's the thing. They've spent years making.
That's
this
insane, though, isn't it? It's like you spent so much time, and the only thing you've done is use their tech, like you say, and then all of a sudden, you're £300,000 in debt, and it's like, I don't remember taking out that credit card, you know, like. You know, it's
right though. He's saying if you've got a good accountant and stuff, they'll write off earnings and expenses to minimise like tax brackets and stuff.
Yeah.
But I mean, it still only minimises it. It doesn't get rid of it for sure.
Yeah.
It's insane. Brutal. That just puts everyone off making games, though, doesn't it?
No, because a lot of people don't understand the difference between profit and revenue. So
yeah, no, I understand that, but see, like, if for somebody that does, or for anyone that's like watched us tonight, they're gonna be like, "Got this great." Nope, not gonna do that. Fuck that. Not touching that. Somebody else can do it. I'm not getting into £300,000 worth of debt just for releasing a game.
I mean, it's like a what do you call it? What's the best one? So is like a lot of people buy games in these like bundles.
Well, Humble Bundle and stuff.
Yeah, Humble Bundle and stuff like that, right? And they're like, "Oh, you must have made loads of money because you had like 100,000 sales on Humble Bundle or whatever." It's like you do it as you get like. I think me and someone.
But Humble Bundle's much reduced price, isn't it? Do you know?
Yeah,
but that's towards a good cost though. But
yeah, of course. But as a business point of view, you still look at it as a income.
A positive, aye.
Yeah, but we worked out once, and we think on average you'll get 17 pence per sale.
But per Humble Bundle sale, regardless of what they sell it at.
Yeah, like on average.
Are you like at liberty to say right now? I know that your game's not actually been released yet.
I've got games that are out though.
Yeah, so sales wise, how are you doing?
I think our top one was, I want to say, 8,500 copies.
That's decent.
So we're using the same example. So 17 pence.
Yeah, that's a Humble Bundle though. Like if it's in a bundle in itself.
Okay.
You get about 17 pence on average.
So let's just say like worst case scenario, 17.
Yeah, I mean,
it's breaking 10 grand though.
Yeah, but we did it.
How long did that take you? Did that take you a year, 2 years?
No, it was about 9 months.
The current subject, Scottish Rabbi, is how much money you can make and the difference between. What's a good way to sum up what's the best way to sum the current subject up for Rabbi that's just joined? Like,
don't make games. You'll get.
Don't make Unreal games.
Don't make Unreal games. You'll get into debt. No, but realistically, so the way that to sum this up here with what we just talked about is, so what's the minimum wage in the UK? You make what, like 16 grand a year or something like that?
£7.83 an hour, I think.
So
That's for wait, I don't know what it is for over 25.
Annual income, let's just call it 16 grand.
Aye.
If you spend
shite.
9
let's not
months
get
making a
into that
game
pod.
and you get 10 grand for that, that's like the same thing as having a job, but being able to work from home.
Yeah, like that's one fundamental thing that I think like young teenagers and stuff like that need to understand, right? See if you're a musician, see if you can get gigs in your local, like playing Friday nights and stuff like that, and you can make £200 in a week or £300 in a week, then that's what somebody's making going to work. Do you know what I mean? That's that you can make a living like that. Do you know what I mean? So young creative people, like, you don't have to be the best guy in the world to be making that living. Do you know what I mean? You can have that small
also
success.
most of
Do you
those
know
sales
what I mean?
were on our platform, remember? It wasn't in Humble Bundle or anything.
Yeah.
So, like,
No.
most of our
That
sales-
was just worst case. That was just
Yeah.
a worst case scenario example. But yeah, don't worry. We know you're fucking minted. All right. So far, I've seen your stream and I've seen you tonight. You changed your jacket twice. You're not even outside. You're not even outside. You've got 2 jackets on. What the fuck? Like,
2 jackets is a sign of money.
It
Right,
is, yeah.
we've got to take a quick right-hand turn, Viper. You ready to get that beetroot, son? This is where you get bench pressed because you didn't do a good job of telling everybody to watch the video. It happened,
Pete.
guy.
I've seen
Viper
that.
got bench
I've
pressed.
seen it, so I'm gonna go for a.
So we're going to show everybody it, just in case people missed it, because I know I missed it when it first appeared. So here we go. Viper being bench pressed.
Boy.
What?
Boy.
What?
I've got to bench you.
Go bench me.
Yes.
Okay. Well, for the
I'm a
record,
big
I weighed myself. I am 93.5 kilograms.
Uh-huh.
So,
I can't even lift a bag of groceries.
Alexa, what's 93.5 kilograms in pounds?
93.5 kilograms is 206 pounds.
I'm 206 pounds. Okay. I'm a bit heavy.
Boy. Okay, right. I'm heavier than you. Time to bench, y'all. Time to bench.
There we go. So,
Bench for days.
ready?
Oh my god.
Alright.
Oh my god.
I'm gonna
Here.
have to try and help you. for the
That's your
first bit.
crotch.
Right.
Yeah.
Wait.
No, this is really
Alright.
uneven.
Are you ready?
Maybe if I grab your leg.
Okay, you try and grab my leg. Okay.
Yeah.
I am putting no effort in whatsoever now.
No,
okay?
because you're on the bed.
I'm not. I'm putting no weight on the bed.
Yeah,
I'm
you
all-
are.
I'm putting all my weight on my leg.
No, you are.
Most of my weight is through your arms.
No
Right,
way.
Go. Go.
What?
Pull. Down.
Go
Down.
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 Oh.
See, I'm giving you no help here.
Here,
There you
what
go.
the hell? Why is that easy?
Go. Keep going.
Why is that easy?
Keep going.
Oh!
Keep going.
Oh my god!
Keep going. Down again. Down again.
How did I do that?
Vanessa literally crumbles when you drop the full weight on her, man. She literally just crumbles.
I do want to say though, right? And that weigh-in was accurate since I believe the 1st of February. I weighed myself again yesterday, and I am now 88.9 kilograms. So I'm quite happy. I'm under the 200-pound mark now, but this thing that works about 196 pounds. As numbers churn in my head.
And how much is that per week?
Good question.
It's meaning like.
Well,
a
actually,
salary.
no. When I
It's meaning like a salary. Don't answer.
If you release this on Unreal, how much would that be?
What's the tax on that?
this sounds like a higher maths like examination question. SMViper first started weighing at 93.5 kilograms. After 6 weeks, he weighed in at 88.9 kilograms. Total that up to 1 hour, then figure out how much he owes Unreal.
That's amazing. From now on, we should just do that. Whenever it comes to any sort of money questions, like, how much do I own Epic? Like, that's just a quote now. That's it.
Yeah.
Just
Done.
epic one.
Ah.
Fucking bites out your pies, man. They're like,
we-
your
we-
pies. Nom, nom.
We keep straying from this one thing though. Like, can we, Kandonian, tell us about your game? I really want to know about your game.
Yeah,
Sure,
what's
so-
the inspiration for it? Why?
That's the end of the podcast, guys. Thanks all for watching.
What made you want to
Sorry.
make it? What's the overall feel of the game, and what do you want to achieve with it?
Yeah, so we've got a couple of games out already, but for years we wanted to make a MMO because we had an MMO way back, like early 2000s, but it was like before people actually played MMOs, basically. People couldn't understand it because it was like,
Yeah, he has money.
I don't get this.
That's his second jacket of the stream. Right, continue.
And so we always wanted to make an MMO, and then basically this is like a
Oh shit! Thanks,
like,
screen.
what's it? How would you say it? Like a reimagining of the way that we built the original one. Is like kind of what it is. It's like based in the same world but in a totally different time.
All right.
Or
What's that?
like a modernized, like you've
Yeah,
modernized
basically.
it a bit?
Yeah. Basically, we modernized the whole thing, like because it was built on our own custom engine way back then, and
Mm-hmm.
it couldn't keep up nowadays to like how quick Unity and stuff is basically. So we basically built that, and we wanted it to be fun though. Like one thing with MMOs is like like everybody loves collectibles, right? Like
Some feel a bit
gear and,
grindy,
like,
don't they? That's one of the problems, ain't it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
like that game Destiny. Like,
Mate, I know Destiny's grindy. I know it is.
but anyway, sorry, carry on. I
Yeah,
don't want
but
to
you
stray
you
from
still have the
this.
loot at the end of the tunnel, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, but yeah, so we wanted
Better
to,
loot
like,
than you can get, right?
we wanted to put loads of features in that we wanted, like a lot of our games. For people who don't know, all our games include poo
Yes.
to some degree.
Yes.
Who comes out the bum?
That secret.
So like all of our games at some point or another feature poo in them.
I don't see how that's promoting your game.
I'm
giving you.
Everybody needs to
Giving you-
poo.
It's a niche
Yeah, I
market,
know, but
maybe.
like, that's not like something you go into a date with, is it? You poo, I poo. We should probably get together. It's like it's
Have you
not
tried
something.
it, though?
What? Going up?
You can't
You
say-
do
you can't
a
say it doesn't
shite.
work if
I
you
No,
do
do
a
it.
shite.
I do. Well, I'm married. I don't need to worry about that stuff anymore. Like, you know, I used to just walk up to women and just be like,
They've got adjacent toilets. They hold hands.
no,
Really, Joe.
like.
You used to walk up to folk and go, "You've got 2 jackets."
I actually think I did one time because there was a girl that was wearing a jacket over a hoodie, and I'm like, "Why are you doing that? Wear one."
Maybe she
Totally
didn't have a
worked.
jacket that was
Haha.
warm enough, but she needed another layer, so she put a hoodie on underneath. Do you know what I mean? Like, she was cold. You're like, be cold and be fashionable right now.
Yeah, to not stray, but it's basically it's like RuneScape, but mixed with like Warcraft and features from other MMOs that we like. So it's got like RuneScape's like
I'm not a fish at a
separate
pond when
crafting
I'm
and
playing it,
gathering.
man. I've never played anything like that, and I'm not a total fish
like
at a
so you
pond.
can craft and gather, and it has its own level system for each craft and gather. But you have like a main combat level, which is like inspired by like World of Warcraft and like pacing of World of Warcraft combat.
How do you calculate the experience per gathering thing?
So we start at 1.
Okay,
And then
right, gather that. Thank
So
you.
what we do basically is everything has like levels, and we calculate like how long things take, right?
Right.
And then we also add in factors like how exciting it would be to get to an area and stuff. Like a lot of games, what they do is they have like a giant calculator, right? And then they just have this thing that goes like that. Like you'll find that in Destiny. They have this thing that goes.
No, you won't
like,
find that in Destiny.
You just
won't find
forever
that.
feel like you're slowly getting better, but at the same time, it's always just like a slow. You don't get like go along and then it's just like a massive power spike, you know.
Aye.
So have you had to reduce or increase the amount of not drop rate, but the commonness of certain things that you gather to go along with your calculation?
Yeah, literally did that earlier today on stream. We did like a dev stream, and
I'm in the wrong business, boys. I'm telling you.
yeah, basically we.
I was lurking playing Destiny while watching your dev stream.
Yeah, so there was like at the moment there's like flints, which are like a rare drop from stones, and you need them to make fires.
Real drop.
Which-
I was getting hunters of flints when I was playing, man.
What about
Not
apples?
anymore. Someone stole
Have
them
you
off of me.
reduced the drop rate on apples? Yaldi, how many apples did you have again?
If you released, if you,
it wasn't a
if
drop
you
rate. He went and
released-
bought them.
He bought those?
Yeah,
I thought he just.
he
I thought
went to
he
the
just
shop
went about
and bought
punching
like
trees for an
700
hour.
apples.
No, he bought all those apples with my fucking money, the cunt. Fucking done nothing but fucking run up and steal my loot, and then bought hundreds of apples, and then went and fought the boss man with all
So-
my apple health that he just acquired off me. He's a
You can
dirty
tell
loot
he's still
stealer.
annoyed. That's
Aye.
the...
You know, this is I've just thought of a thing that actually kind of ties all this together, like a fun topic. But
Uh-huh.
if we're looking at MMOs and popular games,
Oh, bro.
bringing in ad revenue and money, and how some games have failed because of certain things, some games have succeeded in
I
others.
can hear it. It's Fallout 76. He's trying to get to it,
No,
isn't he?
no, I was going to
It's
ask.
communism, isn't it?
Yes. No. This is it's a question.
And
suited
now for
Kandonian as
Viper's
well.
weekly pitch for communism.
It's Stylus Rave. It's a question for Kandonian as well as anyone in the chat as well. World of Warcraft. If I'm right, you pay for the base game,
Yep.
but then you need to pay a subscription every month. Why do you think people are willing to pay that subscription? Because if you look at games like we said, like Artifact, where you've already bought the game, but then you need to pay to play it more, and that's clearly failed. Going in
Because
then
people
also-
understand that the devs have to when they sell you a game, the next part that they're going to make it requires money to make it. Do you know what I mean?
Do you mind if we take this in turns here? So,
Yeah,
Cod, you go first here, and then Kandoni, you go second, bud. I'll go last.
Aye, like
Well,
I
I'll go
think,
last.
I think it's
Oh,
that.
no, I want to be last. Fuck you.
Do you know what I mean? Like it's the season passes, maybe no season passes because they've already started doing that. But like DLCs and like subscription games, they're constantly evolving. This team is constantly working on this game, so they can't just have a one-off payment for the game, because then they've got a pool of money, and that pool of money will run out. They need to have money ticking in throughout the year, and
Then
they
how
do that
could
for-
Overwatch do it?
because that's what I mean. Season passes is something that I don't know. It's kind of, but
Overwatch
World of
doesn't
War.
have season passes.
Dude, doesn't Overwatch have a quick thing? You can pay for chests and
Loot boxes, yes,
loot
but
boxes. Yeah, okay.
I'm pretty sure. I don't know about World of Warcraft because I've never played it, but I think you can pay for cosmetics in that game as well, or you can pay for currency that you can then spend in the game.
Yeah, but it's very expensive. So it's like to keep it to a minimum.
It's not only that, you can do
expensive.
dungeons and shit like that and get sweet loot from there, which is why people spend so much time doing that instead of spending money.
Yeah.
And as well as that, you're not in the most toxic community on the internet playing World of Warcraft. You're doing that in Overwatch, which is, you're surrounded by like 7-year-olds.
Aye,
And,
that's the thing about like Overwatch is probably a console-dominated game. Do you know what I mean? And it's people's been got it for Christmas and stuff like that. Do you know what I mean? It's one of those games that a mum will pick up off the shelf in Asda for their kid. Do you know what I mean? So you're getting all those people playing that sort of game, and it does invite a toxic community. But
Wait, wait a minute,
I don't really know the Overwatch community, so I'm just taking your word for it, Tickles. And
Overwatch
but
community is-
Vanessa
it's-
backed it
I-
up earlier. Do you know what I mean? There's a lot
Yeah,
of people agreeing
I
with that.
can't even put it into words, dude. Like I don't want to stray. 'Cause I know we keep straying. I know it's me that keeps straying here, but like
For once, it's no me.
it's just the worst. Like in any other game that you're a part of a team, you think to yourself like, what do I need to be to make this team work? We have 2 DPS, we have 1 tank, we have 1 healer. What can I do that's going to be most beneficial?
Yeah,
That-
or the new
that
Destiny
thought
mode.
process-
You've got the invader, the collector, the killer, the fucking sentry,
You-
man.
that thought process doesn't exist in Overwatch. It's a case of like everyone wants to go DPS,
Aye,
and that's that.
Yeah, but
Not anymore. It's 3 tank, 3 support.
there is a counter argument to that as well, though.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Is it?
So
I
the
don't want to know.
so the,
No,
the,
carry on.
so the counter yeah. So
No,
the
there
counter argument, right, is that Blizzard sort of shot themselves in the foot a little bit with Overwatch, right? Because what they did was the characters that they created, a lot of them, like if you watch any of their original development stuff on it, they did the same thing that we do. like they focused on the fun aspect more than the absolute like competitive aspect.
He's doing it.
And the characters.
He's doing
Some
it.
characters are funner to play than others. Therefore, a lot of people won't choose them, and a lot of people. The problem is they don't have split queues. So,
I'm so happy.
they don't have queues for people that just want to play and don't care.
What you get excited about, Tickles?
So happy right now because he's basically just said what I've always said about Overwatch, and that's that Blizzard have basically shot themselves in the foot, right? And that's because, just like you say there, like the way that I always put it is they've created a game that's so utterly accessible by everyone.
Yeah.
That anyone can play it, but no, like because they've made the game so accessible, like there's a case of like there's almost a line. It's like if you pass over that line of over accessibility, then as soon as you passed over that, it's like everyone thinks that they're fucking pro. But because of that, because it's so overly accessible, you've got all these fucking idiots that think that they can play the game because they're fun characters to play.
Yeah.
They
But
don't
they're
realize
not.
there's
They're
like a
fucking
totally different.
dumb.
Yeah, they don't realize there's a totally like the only way that they can really be like do this is like, I don't know if you remember like the really old StarCraft 1 days, but what they had is the way the ladder worked is you actually couldn't play in the ladder above you until you were in that ladder.
Mm-hmm.
What do
So,
you mean
like-
by the ladder above you?
It's
So,
like
like-
MMR. You're right.
Yeah,
Right,
you had
right,
like
okay,
you had
okay.
like bronze, silver, gold, right?
Right,
And you
okay.
literally couldn't play with silver people, or you couldn't queue for a silver queue or a gold queue.
There was just no way to match against them.
Yeah, unless you had that rating,
Mhm.
but it was also rated against like your it was like a community spirit sort of thing, where like if you were good and you didn't BS and chat basically all the time and like annoy folk, people would upvote it, and then even if you weren't the best of player, it would sort of even itself out, so you'd even out somewhere, and the idea behind it was that you'd even out with people that you would even out with.
Yeah.
The same sort of thing.
Overwatch has tried to do that.
Yes, they've introduced it now.
With their,
What years before that actually?
yeah.
balances itself
But like
out.
with their like their whole like competitive thing, is it like from what I've seen is that if you're not like if you're a bronze player, you're not gonna get tapped out. Why are we at a campfire?
Because
Why is there a pigeon with Doritos over his head?
That's not a fucking campfire. That's some bricks on fire.
That's bricks on fire. There you go. That's what it is.
Why is
Scottish
Tickles then
campfire.
over the fire?
Tickles is sitting on the bench, and I'm going to sit
Why
on
am
the
I
bench right
to
next to
Stewie?
Tickles.
I'm not wanting to sit next to Stewie.
Right, we'll move Stewie, but you're definitely sitting
Could you
next
put
right
him in
next
the
to me.
hills, please, over in America?
Right, okay. We'll get Stewie in the hills. Over in
Whilst he's
America.
Whilst he's
Stewie-
fixed in that, I'll continue.
Just glancing over the hill.
Right, there
With,
we go.
um,
We'll put Stewie over
with,
here. There we go.
Thanks.
With Overwatch, you're not going to get put up against somebody who's platinum if you're bronze. You can, however, get put up with people who are silver. But the way I've seen it, it's not until you're like high bronze or like high in your rank that you start getting matches of people who are big, who are like higher up than you. And that's like, in my opinion, like they're trying to like maybe wean you in to
Yeah,
that.
but
Like,
they're
like,
they're also completely based off your skill level, like for that brackets.
oh yeah,
like-
you get some absolute fucking toxic players who
Yeah.
just because
Whereas what they should do is take into account like
Accuracy.
rate. No, they should take into account like the actual
Me and my
Player-
friend on the
yeah.
log. Hiya, Tickles.
player like gratitude and stuff at the end.
I hate this.
Hiya,
Remember-
Tickles.
No, I'm really sorry, Kandonian. Carry on, man. I just hate that the fact that right now me and Cod are sitting next to each other on a log next to a campfire. I hate it. Get the fuck away from me!
Sorry.
Tickles
But yeah,
and cards sitting on a
They
log.
should also weight
One
it against
gets up,
like the type of person that you are, and that the better that you like, the more respectful, basically. Like I mean, if you look at perfect examples, you look at golf or tennis. You don't actually get to play in any pro tournaments if you're like a total Conor McGregor and
yeah.
start headbutting people,
Aye,
you know?
if your conduct's not up to scratch, you'll not get
Yeah,
into tournaments.
exactly.
Yeah,
Whereas they need
100%.
that in esports. Like that's
Mhm.
that's one thing that we really need is like a
thing is-
conduct authority to like manage this stuff.
Yeah.
The thing is, all these MMR, all these
100%.
rank, everything like that, they're all based on just whether you win. How are you supposed to win if you have like five or fucking six? Like, if you're part of a six-man team on Overwatch, how the fuck are you gonna win if it's like every single person wants to go a fucking DPS and not one person, you're the only fucking healer. You can't do
Exactly.
it.
But
You
then,
can't do
if
it.
you were a good player for a long period of time in terms of conduct, and then
You'll
put you
find
up
you'll
to,
find teams to play
based
with.
off
Do you
your
know what I mean?
conduct rather than just your
Yeah.
skill, would that not make better experience for everybody?
No, because you would get all the other 7-year-olds all being like, aye, but this guy was a dick though, so I'm going to report him. So even though the best player there that actually has 7 bits of brain, IQ.
7 bits of brain. Is that what IQ means?
I was trying to make sure that all
Fuck,
the
I've only got
7-year-olds that are
5.
watching the podcast at the moment knew. But yeah, that's the thing though. Like, if you do these things, it was the same with Dota. I know I bring this up a lot, but like I played Dota for so long, and everyone went a carry.
Yeah.
And sometimes you went a support. I went a support, and I got really good. I beat fucking pro times on some of the things that you can do in that game, right? And it's not enough. It's just simply not enough. And in the end, because the one person that actually done their job, but the rest of your team are dumb, or 1 or 2 of them are dumb, you're going to get reported.
You get one of
Yeah,
the
you
7.
need to make a weighting system, so like it weights it to a certain percentage, but it's never going to be perfect. The only way to really do it is you have to have someone actually watch every match and decide.
Yeah, that's one way of doing it, but I actually think that there would be another way of doing it. I think that if somebody was to create some sort of algorithm that compensated for accuracy, well, first off, it would be a case of like healer, tank, DPS. How much damage was soaked up by tank? How much healing did hit my mic? How much healing did the healer do? And how much DPS did the DPS do? And what amount of time did they manage to get this item? If that was in Dota or League of Legends, in fucking Overwatch, you could do how many assists did they get as a tank, or how many things did they hit with their ultimate ability? If you're Reinhardt, how many people did you stun? Things like that. There's so many things that you could put into this one algorithm, and as soon as you made that one algorithm, that's it. That's it done.
Aye, and it's an algorithm based on team play that, do you know what I mean? If there's too many DPS characters in the match, then the algorithm puts a point penalty on them. They don't get as much points as they usually would, something like that. Do you know what I mean? So as people playing the team roles get more points for playing the team roles, and they go to the top of the board, so as it motivates those kids that just want to be at the top of the board to get to the fucking top of the board, because they'll have to play in the team.
Yeah, but then just like you're saying, like people are like I'm so like the downside to that is then you just get, so you play DPS or whatever, right? And you're good at it, and you've got a couple of people playing DPS, and then just because one person's having a bad game, they play DPS, and then now that's your whole team rating them.
No,
it's the same with
it would be based on an individual basis. The algorithm would be specified to that person.
But it's a team game, so how can you?
Yeah, but it would take into account your assists, the amount of healing that you've done, the items that even you bought in the League of Legends, Dota, the amount of times that you healed your teammates, not just your KD, not just like, the thing is though, it doesn't even take into account your KD. It just takes into account whether you won or not, and that's the problem. If it took into account anything else, any of the other things, then it would be.
I think it does, but
salvage.
they're very low weighted. Like how long you're on fire and stuff for, it's like really low weighted, but it still counts.
I've never seen it. Like all that I've been told. I used to play Overwatch occasionally, and I've streamed it a bunch of times, but I can't do it. I can't do it anymore with just the amount of.
You know the thing that there's like a double-sided thing to this as well. So like the first thing is that what they need is clarity as to what actually the algorithm is, like so that people know what it is. Because one of the frustrating things is people don't actually know what makes.
Yeah, no, I get that. I'm totally in agreement with you there. Yeah.
Though side to it is, as soon as you tell people what counts, people are just going to purely aim for what counts and nothing else.
Yeah, they're gonna intentionally kind of.
Abuse it. Yeah, so like
use the system.
It's like a half and half.
But how can you abuse a system that's like, if you're a healer, you're expected to heal?
Yeah, but what if there's like 1 second where you should have really done damage because it would have won the match, but you healed instead?
But then the match is the thing that obviously counts more. But just like you said just a moment ago, no, what you just said a moment ago, the things that don't matter much. We're talking like 0.01% of your MMR or your rank or whatever. I've never seen it once. Actually. Like, I once done 10 games of Overwatch for my rank, and I was putting a really shit rank. But I was top for whatever I was doing that game for about 8 of those games.
On the contrary, however, I have played my 10 placement matches and I have lost every single one of them, but I was placed in high gold.
Yeah. So, like, the other thing to count is that they could do to maybe not, like, there's no perfect solution, right, at all to this.
I disagree. All you need to do is ask me, and I shall give you.
But the things that could make it better initially would be stuff like when it gave you your placement, if it gave you like a quick synopsis as to why it placed you there. You know, like if it said, look, you rated like 9 out of 10 in this, 9 out of 10, 7 out of 10, or whatever on there. You know, if it did that, at least then you have a breakdown as to why it sort of placed you there. But it's more the frustration of not knowing, like, how anything works. Is the problem.
I just feel like if they had put the thought process into the.
But how do they put the algorithm in the game and then people know how to manipulate the algorithm? That's the problem with that. Do you know what I mean? You tell people how they're being scored, you're going to get people going spam.
But that's the thing though, like if you were to create this algorithm, right, that we're talking about right now, right, and it's not just a 5-point thing, is it? We're talking about KD, we're talking about assists, we're talking about healing, we're talking about tank soaking up damage, pardon me. We're talking about whatever, right?
Yeah, but you'd have to score it moment to moment is the problem.
Mm-hmm.
And how does the game know exactly moment to moment?
Oh yeah.
I think the main question is how do you motivate
sorry.
somebody to sit down and make this algorithm? Because it sounds like a fucking.
But you don't need to. That's the thing though. You don't need to when it comes to a game like Overwatch. You don't need to anymore because the game's already a success. They don't need to do that. Like a future game that wants to be successful would do this right, because then everyone would say this has the most accurate ranking system in the world right now. No game has that. No game.
StarCraft 1. When you win, you go up a bracket. If you lose, you go down. That's it.
But that's one player though. That's one player though, and that's a very accurate way of doing it. I guess.
For 1-1, yeah.
But if it's team based,
it's a lot different. It's completely different.
Yeah.
Like there's so many ways. Like if I honestly, we talk about like how Fallout 76 was a failure. Anthem.
I think how confident you are right now about your algorithm. There's been many people, like the guy in the Overwatch boardroom when Overwatch was being raided.
Fuck off.
This is that. Do you know what I mean? He was just as confident about his algorithm, man.
This guy, all he did in that fucking boardroom was, if you win, you go up. If you go down, you go down. And they even fucked it up so much as
the guy was like, it's gonna be a fucking great idea. Can't you fucking love it?
If me and Kandonian were to go and play Overwatch, let's say that Kandonian was a diamond-based player, right? And if I'd done my ranking matches with Kandonian, right? If I was like the lowest of the low, I would still be at a higher ranking simply because I match made with Kandonian. That's a fact.
You're clearly not seen my gameplay if you think I'm that good.
It was just an example.
Hypothetical, man.
But that goes with what Viper said as well, because he fucking done all the stuff on Overwatch, just like he said there, and somehow he managed to go.
Yeah, I know.
Then
it's because of the clarity of we don't know how it weighted each of you against anything. So.
There's not being attentive to your ranking system, and then there's completely and utterly abandoning it, which is it's a case of you win and that's it.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's what Overwatch have done. They're so fucking rich that they don't give a fuck. They've got all these people that will play their game regardless. And it's going to increase toxicity because of it. Because it's not going to be based on what you can or cannot do. It's just going to be a case of like, I want to be the best that I can do, as a DPS and look
You want to be the very best, like no one ever was.
Like no one ever was. Yeah, I want to cast them all. Why?
Speaking about that though, Rest in the chat, Overwatch have changed it. Like maybe not for like the ultimate better, but they have changed it. Is where if you are of no ranking or of a very low ranking and you want to play with someone of a high ranking, you can't be a bronze player and play with a diamond player. I think the highest you can play with is silver.
So
like,
that took them 3 years.
Probably. Is it been 3 years already?
It's about 2 or 3 years.
Right, okay, so here's me coming onto Overwatch to play with my friends the first time I've played it.
You don't have
invite me to your game. Oh yeah, you can't play with us, Alright, I'll go play Destiny.
That's exactly what would happen.
That's what would happen if it was me. Do you know what I mean?
If you look at it this way,
So you can only play
you
like
bought Overwatch to play it with them, and then you changed to Destiny.
Overwatch would be getting took straight back to the shop.
Activision are going, well, you bought 2 of our games now.
He's got it. That's exactly right. Yep.
But like says well
Activision recently split from Bungie, right? It's no longer an Activision game, right? Asterix.
Sorry. Yeah.
But like if it's
Next patch.
you can still play with your friends in Overwatch if you're at different levels, but you can only play in quick play or an arcade. And let's all face it, arcade's 10 times better anyway. So like
5v5 Mystery is the true gameplay.
Mystery Heroes is the only way that game can be played. And no limits as well. I want my 3 May 3 Diva thing back.
I can't play a game without playing rank.
Well, then that's you. But
that's just me. I'm just saying this. Like there are people like.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing is, with me, I'm on the opposite spectrum. I hate playing competitive. I hate it. I want to play the fucking like Call of Duty, for example, right? Well, all my mates were going away playing free for all and team deathmatch. I was playing gun game because it's just how fucking fun it was. Like I was that one guy who was like, "Oh, I've got
no friends."
You're talking about you, the one singular person that was playing the game. Yes, you are that one guy.
Running out of going, fuck. Where the fuck is everybody?
Guys,
they're on team deathmatch.
Guys, we've done this again. Kandonian, so tell us about your game. I really want to know.
I'll go through one of our other games anyway.
I want to know about the game you're telling us about.
That's the end of the podcast, guys. Thanks a lot for watching.
So,
anyway,
so the MMO right now, you can sign up. And if you go to the IndiScots Discord, there's a link to the Discord that you can go to join the pre-alpha testing.
It's Discordception. If you go into the IndiScots Discord, there is a link to another Discord. Discord within a Discord.
Are you fucking kidding me?
But make sure and take something with you so you know that if you're back out to the real Discord or not. Like, check it.
Take a talisman with you.
I'm just picturing it like a fucking one of those Russian dolls.
Matryoshka.
You keep going.
Matryoshka dolls.
If you keep going, eventually you'll find me. Just a really small.
Yeah, just the Viper and his own.
A life-size Viper.
He's the only person in.
Just on the back hashtag
you made it here.
He's sitting in his tiny room.
It was all a ploy.
He's wee
just
tiny
at a desk in a white room.
Oh man.
So yeah, you can join there, and then the other game that we have just now is Star Plantation. I've sent a link, a video to COD. I don't know if you'll be able to play it, but
I need to get it.
It's completely different genre. It's basically I'll go through the blurb that we have anyway, because it makes it easier for me to not say things that aren't out yet.
This is what we've been actually doing, just farming him for spoilers.
Yeah. So basically what it is the universe is owned by one giant company that everybody works for. Basically, basically it's like Amazon gone wild, and they're called Ever Systems. So you work for the evil overlord Ever Systems, and you're responsible for turning planets into the most profitable businesses that they can be by harvesting their resources.
This sounds like colonialism.
He'll start plantation here while he's talking about it.
But basically, you land on the planet, and you're like, what you're supposed to do is like harvest like plants and crops and stuff like that, and you send it back through this like basically vending machine device,
that's very
and you
good
get
to
paid
hear.
for it. And what happens is that you have arrived on this planet, and turns out there's actually creatures and stuff there, which are not supposed. You're never supposed to go to one that has like living creatures and
Like dogs.
yeah, basically like
Dogs.
stuff that
Space
shouldn't be there.
dogs.
So it's
And it's basically you.
Dogs with wee space helmets on, eh, Ken?
So yeah, you collect and harvest the resources, grow your own plants, hunt creatures, and give them hugs.
You
In
give
this game.
space dogs hugs?
why
Why
would you be doing
wouldn't you?
space dog? Yeah,
What would
they're
I
not
do?
called space dogs. They're made for patting.
No,
Yes.
I would train them.
And basically what it is like the main
Soon
mechanic.
we give a space paw.
Just stop. We're doing this again. We're straying from the point. Carry on.
Main mechanics of the game, right? The first one's like crafting, so you can go to your ship and like craft and build like machines and stuff, which let you build better, bigger things to like harvest the planet quicker and stuff. And
It's
the second thing is basically anything that you pick up on the planet you can feed to any creature. Now, if it's the right thing that you feed it, it gives you something better back. But if it's the wrong thing you feed it, it gives you poo. And poo is your only line of defense, right? And it's like physics poo, so you can throw it in it like.
Poo is the only line of defense.
Yeah. And then when
Can I
you
build
throw it, it
walls
deals
of poo?
damage. And you have like a level bar and like damage bar and stuff that you like level up over time. It's maybe
Can,
better
like-
if you see the video.
Can,
we
like,
saw
you,
the
like-
video.
There was no poo
Can you,
thrown
like,
in that
build, like,
video.
There was no poo thrown in that video. There was no poo harmed
Yeah.
in the making of that video.
Yeah, but that's the only way to deal damage to anything on that place.
Can I ask? Did you get inspiration from Slime Rancher? Is that what it's called? It looked
Yeah.
very similar. Like
Yes.
not very similar, but it had
Yeah,
inspiration.
so when we first started the prototype, we based some of the prototype stuff off Slime Rancher, because it was just getting worked on at the time. In terms of like the graphics and stuff, we've always had those kind of like, if you look at all any of our 3D stuff, we all do the hand painted sort of stuff.
Yeah.
Because like if you look at it's all hand painted, it's not like textured.
So
So
it's
like
one
it
of
gives it,
carry on.
you know, like that sort of cartoony
it was good.
feel.
Oh, it's good. One of the things that I want to ask though is with this Article 11 and 13,
Yeah. I
are you a
wanted
little
to
bit
talk
worried
about
that the likeness of your game might be seen as copyright?
No. So
No, because it would be copyright tickles.
Yeah, but I mean, if you can
in
see the
video
likeness of something in something else,
in video games, it's a completely
It's-
grey area though.
It's a very great area.
but that's the whole point in the Article 11 and 13. though.
Video
That's gonna
games
make it
wouldn't
really
progress
difficult.
if people didn't take inspiration
But
from
neither
others.
would Twitch streams, neither would any of these social
Yeah.
media, neither would memes.
And this is
neither-
exactly why you need to petition Article 11 and 13, because
like
bullshit.
just to say, I
The
just
other
want
thing
to
you got to know is you can't actually, you can't copyright code. Like people think they can for some reason, but you actually can't. It's
I
there's
just
no
want to say
like
this.
copyright law for.
I just want to say, I'm not calling you out right now, Kandonian. This is something that I genuinely just was like, I want to know.
Yeah,
Like, I don't know, and like you obviously have the experience here. I want to know.
I mean,
So, like-
put it this way: the owner of Slime Rancher one time told us to back off because he thought our game was more finished than theirs at the time, and that it was going to come to market first.
If that's the case, then why recently has Skyrim with like the multiplayer thing that's been coming out, like Skyrim
Oh, yeah,
with friends or
ECS
some
and
shit like
stuff.
that? Yeah. No, not the massive multiplayer, but like Skyrim, but with friends. It's cooperative, like 3 or 4 people, right?
Yeah, the
they
mod
use
that they wrote.
they made this thing.
Skyrim with friends.
Yeah, exactly. But what they did was the people that made that, they've been earning tens of thousands of pounds at monthly, I think it is, through Patreon on it. But the problem is that they copied some code off of somebody else's mod.
Mhm.
And that is code. And then the people that made this multiplayer mod on Skyrim, they've been forced, and I mean this, fucking forced, to apologize. They're going to rewrite the code So, I mean, copyright in a way must have some sort of persuasion
So
on code.
it's kind of hard to explain, right? So there's a difference between code and what they did. So code is like the individual things that happen, like in code. Like move forward isn't just like move forward, it's made up of hundreds and thousands of bits, right? Which is like the code. Whereas what they took was a library, which is like pre-built stuff and you can access it. Like, so like rather than me writing the whole move forward, they had a thing that was already ready and then they just said, right, I need to call move forward.
Yeah.
Does it? Like that's different. Like libraries are they're closed off so you can't actually read what's inside them, but you can still call this stuff.
You still
That's
call
the big
it
difference. Yeah.
So
you can't look inside to see how it
How
works.
is that different for
can
using
ask
the
it.
code in it? Like if you weren't using it from a library, how is that different?
but that's why I brung up the Slime Rancher.
Because if it's not in library, then it's just like text format. It doesn't matter, basically.
Well, I
Whereas
mean, if the
in the
maker of
library,
Slime Rancher
it's
brought you,
pre-built, so you can't actually read what's inside it, but they'll give you documentation that says, look, you can call this, call that. And this is what comes back out, but you don't know how it happens in here. If that makes sense.
no, that does, but like if it doesn't, I said to you earlier on, when you're making this new game that you're making at the moment,
Mhm.
are you safe? And I'm not asking you, are you safe to make a drama? I'm asking
Yeah.
you, are you safe? Because you seem like a cool guy. I don't want anything bad to happen to somebody that seems cool.
Yeah.
And like, it's the same thing with the Slime Rancher thing. Does it not make you a little bit worried that with this game, that immediately, as somebody that's never seen the game before, and I say to you, it looks like you've got inspiration from Slime Rancher, and you said yourself that the guy from Slime Rancher has been like, back off.
Yeah.
Does that not make you concerned? Because they can. If you make any money, if you made
Yeah, but who's
10,000
right? This is where the grey area comes in, right? Who's to say I didn't write the stuff first and he copied me?
It's a bit like sampling in music.
Is it because you
It's
can't
like-
sign a code? Is
No,
that
Yeah,
what the
you
problem
can't.
is?
No, no,
Yeah, there's no like
because I
initial creation.
I
date.
understand copyright on music, because when you copyright music, you make the music, and at the moment, the most accurate way of doing it, the most effective way of doing it, is to send it to yourself to private post. You don't open it. That's it.
Yeah,
But
but
with
I mean,
coding,
most,
though, you need to prove that you wrote it first, and
Yeah.
there must be a way to do that.
There's not really
Otherwise-
because you could There's not though because it's digital, fully digital. We can like reverse engineer like.
So
For
what's
example-
going to happen with this Article 11 and Article 13 when it comes to writing code?
Remember, it's
That-
not even. It's only at the stage where they're voting it to be voted.
Oh no,
on,
I know
whether
that,
it's-
but this is we're talking about
So,
hypothetical
like,
right now. If
what
that was
you're-
the case, how would you
Aye,
prove?
exactly. Like it's hypothetical that this is going to pass at the severity that everybody's talking about. Because remember, news outlets, and you're only going to hear a worst case scenario story right now. There's MPs in Parliament that are on the other side. They don't want any of this. They don't want any change. Do you know what
Yeah.
I mean? It's the people that are trying to get the people that have made Article 13 trying to get it in, and obviously they're making noise about Article 13. There'll be concessions, and it'll see these points about code. There is no way to prove them, like Kandonian says. There is no way, so they'll elect to make their lives easier as human beings do, and they'll
Yeah,
ignore
because
that.
essentially we can like, for example, if I really was that desperate, I could go into Slime Rancher and reverse engineer it right down to exactly how it was written, and there's no way that they would have. There's no like sign date or anything to code.
Like
So-
I know that you know better than me right now, which is
Yeah.
why I'm asking all the questions. Like you're
Yeah.
the guest this week. I'm making sure we get our earful from you.
Get our fucking money's worth out of them, right?
Yeah, totally. Man. But the thing is that, like, so are you saying that if, for example, you were to create a bit of code, let's just say it's completely better. Let's just say it's a complete copy of something else.
Mm-hmm.
Complete copy, right? But then you would be able to reverse engineer that so as that it looked like it came out in like 2001. But the game the game that you copied it from came out in 2003. That's possible?
Yeah, because it's digital. Yeah.
So there's no watermark.
No.
And therein
You can-
lies the problem.
Yeah, that's the problem.
So that guy that's saying, "Oh, you back off! You made that's my
the
code
only
you're
way-
using. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, the only way that
So
companies
why
get
was
away with this just now is, for example, it's like the first to market rule, like Facebook and stuff. Like the first to
'cause that
market will fail,
precedent was
the
set,
second to
aye.
market will destroy the market.
so
Like the
what?
first to market was like Bebo, MySpace, and stuff like that. And then Facebook came along with the better algorithm, and because that controls the market now, if me or you brought out a Facebook too,
It would be insubstantial.
yeah.
But
Everybody would think we copied them because they were the greater known at that time.
So with your better experience, what exactly happened, do you think, with this whole Skyrim thing that I just told you about? So we had a bunch of people that created code. Somebody else stole it.
Yeah,
They're
but
getting
they made a library. That's where people are like not thingy in it, right? Like they made a library, and the other team used parts of the library. And
I
then
still
that's-
don't understand the
that's-
distinction
that's-
between the
that's-
library.
it's so-
Surely
so-
there's still no watermarks on the code in the library.
But no,
or can
that-
you tell that came from a library?
That's exactly what I was going to say there. So is it because part of this library? So when you create some sort of library, that's watermark in a way.
no, it's closed off, and it works usually in a pretty specific way, so it's quite easy to tell.
Like
So it's-
Tickles.
So it is
There's-
traceable. That's
To
where
an
you got
extent,
that
right?
from.
Something in like that, yeah, because it's only because to me, to you and everybody, it might seem like quite a big thing, like that they've written, but in terms of code wise, it's actually probably a minuscule project in terms of what we handle. So it's quite easy to cross reference, like when they started it and all this stuff. But like for a game where it's like, their stuff, for example, might be, I'm going to guess maybe 20,000, 30,000 lines of code, somewhere about there. Whereas like even like Star Plantation, I think consists of about 1.8 million lines, somewhere about there.
Fucking hell.
So
So, like Tickles, the way I'm seeing this, right, is that like
Mhm.
if you're comparing this to music as well, right? One line of code.
Yeah,
is
that's
like,
the best way, right? Yeah.
It's like that one line of code is like that. That drum like boom, gup, gup, boom, gup. How many
Nope.
songs do you hear that in?
None.
You really listen to the radio? Every
Every
single
Viper
song.
song
No,
ever.
because I don't live in the 1990s anymore, Viper. I don't listen.
Genuinely, if you turn on the radio right now or any hit songs,
don't
most
have
hit
a
songs these days
radio.
have the. If you even go into iTunes, most of the hit songs these days
I
have a
don't
drum
have
beat.
iTunes.
If you go onto the internet
Right. Okay, I have
and
that.
you go to like quite a few chart songs, you'll find the drum beat of boom, kip, kip, kip. It's tropical house beat. It's like one of the most used drum beats right now.
Actually, it's
That's
called
one
Bossa
line of
Nova.
code.
That's the
Okay,
Bossa Nova.
Bossa Nova, right? Same thing.
Right?
You take that drum beat, right?
Right.
That's one line of code.
Right.
What these guys have done have taken the whole fucking Black album.
yeah, and then just took the bits out that they wanted, basically.
Yeah.
Right, that does make more sense. Does make more sense.
But then that, like, if we're talking, like, let's talk about like if we're making this about music, like if we're using this as a comparison, how many in the song that everyone fucking knows, everyone pretty much in existence knows of the song "Smells Like Teen Spirit."
Yeah.
The opening to that song has 4 chords, the power chords, and those 4 chords have been used in millions of songs. So that's okay because it's not the same chord progression. Whereas if you take these bits of code from other places, but then make it something that's your own, then that's okay. And that's exactly what's happened with this game here. That I don't know what it's called. Star Plantation. That's what I've seen. Like you've taken coding, like not taken, but you've got something that's similar to what somebody else has made, and you've made it your own. Just like if I was to invert the chord progression on "Smells Like Teen Spirit," I would be basically using their chord progression but inverting it.
Yeah, it's effectively what's happened, but what this company for Skyrim have done.
Then playing.
Yeah, and what this company of Skyrim have done is that they've kind of isn't like they've not taken the chord progression and changed it in any way. They've taken Sad But True and Nothing Else Matters and put them in their own album.
Yeah, to make it work, yeah.
Yeah. If you get what I'm trying to say.
For example, like you were saying about the chord progression. So like anybody could play the chord progression and people can change it. but you
Right.
couldn't use the original recording from Nirvana in the middle of your song, could you?
But what if you could go back in time
Mhm.
and make it your own?
You can't.
But digitally, like
Digitally, you can, which
we're
makes it
talking about
difficult to
that.
work
That's
out.
exactly what we're talking about. Technically, digitally, you can go back in time and do that.
Yeah,
Anyway,
you
Vanessa
need
Fucking insane.
Vanessa's posted a whole article as to all of this, and it's coming.
If we're gonna look at the article, I need a minute. 'Cause I need a pee.
Well, but I was about to say this is a long ass article. Maybe
Oh,
Aye.
do that.
Read a wee
Or
bit
read
of
for
Viper
yourself.
while I go for a wee pee as well.
Oh, okay.
Viper
The second
Cliff.
code and copyright
Big
comes
boy
up, the
pants
two
on.
get interested. The other people go, I need to pee. But basically, it just said the GPL does not depend on the copyright ability of APIs.
Yeah.
I'm not going to sit here and depend. I know what any of those.
so API is like library basically.
Yeah, and so like there's a dangerous meme going around that if Oracle loses its novel copyright claims against Google, that suddenly the GPL will become unenforceable. This idea hinges on a misunderstanding about how the difference between linking to the code library and merely using an API.
Mhm.
Right. Explain, please.
So using so like using something, right, as a like, let's say the license says you could use those that you could use a sample from like a Michael Jackson song,
Mhm.
right? As long as you put in your thing that you've used it, like in your album, saying that you
Yeah.
used the sample, right?
And the big problem was that the guys from Skyrim didn't say.
Didn't say that they didn't do it. Another folk got pissed off and said, right, well, you can't use it at all then.
Watch this. See the second Tickles comes back and we say that, he'll go, oh.
Yeah, that's the thing that annoyed them, is the fact that they didn't get credit for it
Mm.
when
Yeah,
they'd done a lot of the hard work. And then,
Mhm.
but I mean, it's going to be simple enough to rewrite it, like I said, because it's easy enough to look into these things. And
Yeah,
actually,
definitely. And it's like there's
it
not
just takes time. That's the
it's
the
like,
reason for using libraries, is it saves
Yeah.
time.
100%. So it says that the programmers usually write code in some human readable form that is then compiled into machine code. This machine code, not the code that programmers actually write, is what computer actually executes.
Yeah. So it's like, like I was saying, like if you had like a character library, normally you would have to write run back forth, like, and you'd have to write how that worked. Whereas if you had the library that did it, you could just say to the library, go forward, go back, and it
Tickles,
does all
we
the work.
figured that out.
Okay.
So what it is, right,
Mhm.
is that it wasn't the fact that these people used the library of the other coder,
Right.
right? It was the fact they took the library and didn't give credit.
Yeah, it didn't reference.
So
that
it's
they
like,
used it.
yeah, and what Kandonian said was that it's like if you sampled the bass line to Michael Jackson and then used it in your song, if you credited him and paid for it, obviously, and got all the rights properly, right?
Yeah.
You could use it. But if I just wait, hey guys, I've written a song already. Doom 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 doom. That's Michael Jackson. No, it's no. That's not Michael Jackson.
So was this guy within his rights to approach you and confront you to say back off?
No, which is why I laughed when he did it.
But if you haven't credited him,
Yeah, but I didn't use any of his stuff just because I wrote my own code, and it happens that part of it
just
looks similar.
similar, but you
Yeah.
wrote it yourself.
Yeah,
But I think that this is probably one of the problems that we're gonna experience, especially soon.
It's a symptom of modern times. Everybody's
Well, no,
going to
no,
going to
the
see
way-
something that looks like they done, and they're going to go, "You copied me."
No, the way that I see it is this.
No wonder where that happened.
See when you walk into a courtroom and talk to a judge about this, like you're like, you go up to this judge, he has no idea. He knows the law, but he doesn't understand coding. He doesn't understand music.
That's why like a good lawyer will win you any case.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
that's why
And
you have
that's
to
the
have
thing
specialist
here.
ones.
Yeah. So it's one of those things that, like, I just want to say again, I can call you Can, right? We're friends.
Yeah.
Can I call you can? Sorry.
That's exactly why we're not friends.
Wait a minute, we're totally friends. Look at us sitting on the fucking. Look at us
please
totally sitting on the
stop
log
this
together, man.
shit?
Let's check us out, man. Best of friends on the log together.
Oh, I hate my.
Vanessa said it again perfectly. Vanessa, we should just have you as a fifth person here.
We
Like,
should.
it can't be, in her word, it can't be infringement if the library is not copyrighted. So, for example, like if you're going in music terms as well, if someone publishes the same song before you have a chance to prove that it's yours,
Yeah,
you know, I've got a perfect like little story to go along with this, right? So I used to be kind of the roadie / technician for this band called Isla Sorna, right?
Thank you for the follow, Energy Turtle.
He's staring right at Tickles, which is the worst part.
I really don't like Kelly's molest eyes on me.
But like,
It's unfortunate that you're there.
Put somebody else there. Put the guest there.
No, because we might scare the guest away.
He's gonna be scared after the conversation we've had
Tickles,
tonight.
that is now your permanent spot. But like, I used to help like go on like
Internet.
tours and stuff with like this band called Isla Sorna, and I'd be the technician, I'd take them to their gigs, they'd help with the drums and everything. That's what I used to do. And once I was taking them through to East Coast Pride so they can get part of their album recorded. And in one of their songs, right, there was these lyrics. It was just literally one sentence, right? But it was like their opening to their chorus, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then we got in the car one day and we went on Spotify and we just hit the, you know how like the Spotify radio session used to bring all these artists that you may like, so we'll play one of your songs, you can hear them for the first time, right? There was a band that popped up, and in their chorus, I shit you not, was the exact same lyrics at the start.
That's just bad luck, ain't it, man?
That's just bad luck. Now the thing is as well is that they'd written that song back.
But you understand how that's going to look copyright if it comes out after.
Exactly. And and I know the guy who wrote the lyrics as well. He wrote those lyrics back in 2013. And I know this because he wrote them in his fucking school planner from 2013.
Oh yes. Let's get the carbon daters in and fucking get the ink tested. Okay. How long ago was that ink actually put on that paper? Do you know what I mean?
But like,
two things. First off, I want to just quickly say, like I was saying there, I'm not here to roast you. I'm just asking really interesting questions. Yeah, like I'm actually really enjoying this. Like
plot twist, he made slime.
And I just honestly, dude, I want to thank you for just answering my question, and because honestly, it's been awesome. Just really.
I made Kandonian up as a piñata and gave Tickles a stick.
I mean, if we could have some sort of
video
now. Of that, like that'd be fantastic. But the other thing was, okay, so hypothetically. So we used the Smells Like Teen Spirit thing as an example, right?
Mm-hmm.
What if I had got the first two chords, all right? Same strumming pattern, same chords, okay?
Yeah.
But then what if I went from that into the AC/DC song, so it's like like that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know, one of the AC/DC songs. Mm-hmm. So what if I did that? So that's getting two completely different songs, which are well known together.
Yeah, but you did it. You didn't record it off of like.
Yeah.
You didn't like use two CDs, take the samples off each one, and put them together.
But some people do that though.
But that's called a bootleg.
No, that's called hip hop.
No. Hip hop.
Just the complete genre. Like
that's hip hop to me. I'm aware.
Hip hop came from sampling, but the samplings were not used illegally. A, because some of those rules didn't exist yet, and B, like they asked permission to use that exact riff. Like Sugar Hill Gang, you know, the Vanessa's getting angry. She's like, still an infringement of copyright because it's a riff. Stop talking about shit I study.
You should be fucking thanking us. All you need to do, you don't even need to write your fucking essay. Just fucking put a link
Yeah, just put it here. There you go. Just put it here.
There you go. I was there, so therefore I know.
But see,
Come
on
back.
another subject, are we still on for a wee game of Jackbox tonight after the podcast, Tickles? Is that still
If
something
that's
you're
the
about
case,
to
then you might want to end the
Yes, it is.
podcast soon because it's getting quite late.
Because I think it's quarter
But
to,
I
it's quarter to
really
11.
okay. Well, can we use the next 5 minutes to? I feel like I feel like an asshole because I feel like I've roasted Can tonight, and I haven't meant to.
Honestly, I do a lot of like talking on stages and stuff, and quite
Yeah.
often we get asked stuff like this, and
Yeah, and
people don't like it because I have a pretty like this.
Do you
This
want-
is what I know.
Do you want a
So-
balloon sword? I'll make you a
No,
balloon
I
sword
love
to make it
that.
all better.
It's awesome when like you speak to somebody, and you're like you ask these really fucking difficult questions, and then they're just like they just shrug it off like yeah, but that's not right though, and this is why, and they explain themselves. So like it's been absolutely awesome, and yeah.
'cause,
Hopefully
I mean,
you don't.
like I
Hopefully
said,
you don't unfollow me on Twitch. You know.
Like I said, we do get it. The thing to understand is like you can't please everybody. Like
Oh yeah,
people will be there
100%. You
to
can never please everybody. It's the
like,
internet.
it's not-
The
I
modern
do.
day.
like
yeah.
the guy, for example, the guy that ran Mamoni Park, which is like the company that made Slime Rancher. Like the day that he started like arguing with us, and then he went to Twitter and had an argument with us on Twitter and stuff. He doesn't realize that was like one of the best days ever. That a huge developer came to our tiny little indie studio and was worried that our game was going to take his over.
Yeah, yeah.
Like he's like,
Yeah.
like, oh, I'm raging.
It's the
I'm
best-
sitting there going,
best bit of
oh,
publicity
thank
you
you
had
very
up
much.
to that point,
Like,
probably.
Cheers for that,
Free
guys.
promotion.
shout out. Like,
It really is.
Yeah.
It's
and
the
they're
same,
like
it's
so
the same
worried
thing
about
when a big fucking Twitch streamer shouts at somebody that's a nobody.
The
This
fuck
is
you
like-
say to me, you little shit?
Yeah, exactly. It's like
yeah. And then before you know it, they're like plenty of subs. You know?
all the fucking haters that like hate on, for example, Ninja. They're all following me because I call them a runt. You know? That's right.
If that's the
Said
case,
that.
can I
You can
get
find me at MrTickles 1, 2, 3.
If that's the case, hi Adamant viewers.
Hey, you want to start up that fucking Jackbox in? We'll start on the road to getting that done.
Yes.
Cool.
Okay. Well, I will. Well, no, that'll. Can you mute me? Mute me.
I can mute you, yes.
Okay.
Aye, and we'll just we'll talk about something while he's doing that. Aye, did you see that Battlefield's getting a Battle Royale mode? Did we see that?
Of course it fucking
Yeah.
is.
Of course it is, of course it fucking is. They couldn't help but jump on it, do you know what I mean? But can you really blame them? Can you really blame them? Do you know what I mean? Can you really? I can't.
I mean, there's a lot of things that influence like business decisions. And like right now, a lot of people are like hating on like Blizzard Activision, for example, for like the layoffs. But these are people that like see the title and go, "Oh my god, what a horrible company," and then don't actually read what the layoffs are. It's like you do realize a lot of the layoffs were like people in like the new esports departments and stuff that they started when esports was coming up. So it's
I
like
wonder if
people
you
that
can
didn't really
still-
have esports experience, but they were there at the time to fill this slot quickly for them needed to expand quickly.
Mm-hmm.
And then like a bunch of that stuff, and then they had
Does someone want to tell Tickles that we can still hear him?
Can you?
and then
No,
well,
I can't.
they
No.
had the
So he
laid
can't
off,
hear
like,
us. We can say whatever he wants to say. What we want about him.
they laid off people that but each person that they laid off, you do realize they got like a package for like a year's wage plus like all this other stuff.
Yeah, severance
They
package.
didn't just go bye.
So that's what I did happen at Telltale though this year. They just got bye bye, no severance package, cheerio.
Yeah, but that's different because the company was actually in
Aye.
like
But
ruin,
it
basically.
it could still happen, do you know what I mean? It's no something
Yeah,
you
yeah,
can,
for sure.
do you know what
Like the one thing people don't know about working in like everybody is like, oh, I'd love to work in video games. You do realize most of the time you're actually thinking, right, how long have I got left in this job? And you're thinking, right, what studio am I going to move to next? Because like really you're only working on stuff while you're on that project, and once that
Aye,
project's
'cause,
done,
like the majority of people are like, I want to work in video games because I get to play video games all day long, you know what I mean? And you're like,
yeah,
no, not how it works. not how
Yeah.
it works.
It's like, a lot of people you'll find switch like companies all the time. Like every 2-3 years, I'd say is probably the turnaround for most people.
Hey, Tickles, we can hear you again. What's the matter? Sorry,
You can't hear me.
Yes, we can.
No, you can't.
Yes, we
Well,
can.
why the fuck am I not muted?
I unmuted him because he was making hunters of caps in the chat as if let me talk to you. Said you go. You sit there and you fucking be quiet, right? You can't. You can move your mouth all you want, but you're not getting to be heard, right? Shut it. You wait your turn.
Speaking of that, should we maybe get an end then?
Aye, we should. Thank you very much to Tickles, the silent Tickles. Fuck you, Tickles. Cunt bag. Cunt.
Best friends.
Just they can't respond. I'm trying to get it all in right now, but it'll be nice. Thank you for joining us.
Tickles sucks the booby.
Kandonian, thank you for bearing Tickles' numerous questions. As he said, I'll apologise on his behalf. And thank you,
What is he doing? What is he doing?
I don't know. He's twerking. He's twerking.
What are you
Right.
doing?
Thank you for watching, guys and girls, and we'll see you all next week. Bye-bye. Build this network on Scots.
So Kandonian,
with
you ever touched the
soul.
sausage roll
Build this
before?
network, Scots and soul. Build this network
touched
on
sausage.
Scots with
I don't like it.
soul.